Time for our best matchup of the week. You've been on a roll with a lot of these. You had Laurent Robinson a couple of weeks ago. I look at this one, Calvin Johnson against Green Bay, Jeff, and I say to myself, well, that's easy. But then I think about it, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's Thanksgiving Day. It's Green Bay. It's a division rivalry game. I'm not sure Calvin Johnson is going to have a huge game. And by the way, Matt Stafford threw for 5 touchdowns last week, and none of them were to a guy named Calvin Johnson.
Well, I felt a little bit obligated to take a Thanksgiving Day game, and I really thought if I came out here and said the best matchup was someone from the Cowboys, you guys might get on to me a little bit. But, Megatron's in for a big day. I think that Green Bay defense just hasn't gotten it done against the pass. They've given up 215 combined yards to the air last week to Mike Williams and Kellen Winslow. They gave up another big game a couple weeks back to Vincent Jackson where he just shredded them. He had 3 touchdowns, tons of yardage. And I think after last week, 5 touchdowns, Megatron wants to find that end zone. He's had some success against Green Bay, 8 touchdowns in 7 games. He's averaging about 76 yards per game. And I really think he's going to be a guy that the national spotlight's on Detroit. They're really, if there's a game that Green Bay is going to lose, I think this could be a trap game for them. With the lights on bright on Thanksgiving, everybody tuning in to watch after they've had their turkey and dressing. I really think Calvin Johnson's going to be the guy to emerge and be the deciding factor in this game.
I don't think the Packers will lose this game. I did a whole segment with my buddy Tom Zenner about whether the Packers can stay perfect, and I keep pointing to that Giants game in New York in a couple of weeks, which I think if they get by that, they win it. They also play the Bears on Christmas night on the NFL Network, but now without Jay Cutler, I'm not sure if that game's as tough as it was before, but we'll see. That's a division game. But to your point, it is Thanksgiving Day. The Lions actually, when you look at the record, don't play great on Thanksgiving Day. They just happen to always play on Thanksgiving Day. But it is at home. It is a division game. And I think the one thing Detroit has going for them, I want your agreement or disagreement on this, is the fact that while they had all this success end of last year and beginning of this year, they've now taken their lumps a little, and they really need to define what type of team they're going to be for the rest of the year. Are they going to make the playoffs and be a contender, or are they just going to be a surprise team? And this is the game where that's what's really at stake. That's the pep talk from Jim Schwartz, isn't it?
Yeah, and the big thing for them is they've suddenly got a running game with Kevin Smith. If he can continue to move the ball well on the ground and really open things up through the air for that offense, you could see Green Bay get their first loss. It's going to be a toughie. Part of the reason the Detroit record is so terrible on Thanksgiving is they've been so terrible for so long. It's been a one-sided affair usually, but I'm hoping for a great game and then followed by a Cowboy win.